actual ad for a mobile game app I got today. You're Cupid, you can shoot the mailman, and you can either have a female dog or a male cat. I'm not sure they're okay, because especially with pets, I never understood why we're so obsessed with pets' gender. Like why? When I say we, I mean the cisheads, because I literally don't care. Right? The only reason you would care is if you have two pets, you don't want them to get pregnant. So, you might care, but being this obsessed that even in a video game you have to be like, no, okay, but this cat is a guy. You better not be calling him some cutesy girly name, bro. It's an app. It's a few pixels on the screen. What do you care? Hello, BabyQueers, and welcome back to my channel. We're doing some Are the Cis Okay again? I'm not sure we want to, because I think we know that the type of cis person that ends up on this subreddit is never okay. They're not doing okay. But either way, we're gonna get mad today. So, it is what it is. But either way, you know the deal. Before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water, or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink. And then we'll check out some more, okay people. Are you hydrated? Good, let's go. 100% of these dudes who push the whole idea that men should be providers, and then demand to be compensated for their own choices and the things they do to themselves. Bro, to everyone saying the kids eat first, then the kids should be paying bills and buying the food. It's that simple. Y'all so lost. This is why y'all are depressed. I don't know who taught her that, but my husband or my man gets served first, unless it's a baby. But if my man going to be acting childish, girl, nah, he can serve his own damn self. I don't know who taught you to feed your man before your children. New generation of relationships are too many single households to understand this concept. Man provides, he eats first. But if he acting like this dude, his plate will be in the microwave. My mom fed that first. Who made the decision to bring children into the world? You make the decision to have children. You have to realize you no longer live for yourself, you live for your children. Your children always come first in everything, meals included. My dad always made sure his kids ate before he even made a plate up for himself. Imagine being mad at who gets the plate first. Just be happy that there's food at the table. Finally, someone with common sense. I agree. Why are y'all so pressed? Because I don't know about y'all's family, but we did it in a way, like sometimes my dad served the food, sometimes my mom served the food, sometimes our older siblings served the food, and whoever filled up the food filled up their own plate last, but we waited until everyone had food to eat. What is this silly thing of, okay, no, but we have to serve him first and then whatever? What is this ridiculousness? Of course, if you have children, especially if really little children, you're gonna serve that food and then make sure their food is cut up into bite-sized pieces for them before you eat yourself. But I don't see this issue of, okay, no, but you have to serve this person first or this person first, because otherwise it's disrespectful, and acting like this is why we're depressed, because we don't think it's necessary. You want to act like if it's actually a family where only the man works, because let's face it, a lot of moms also work by now. But you want to be like, okay, no, but I'm the main provider, so all the work you do at home, like taking care of the children and taking care of the house, doesn't count for shit, so I get to eat first. Who's being ridiculous? Freely choose the gender of your mushroom reincarnation. Leave the mushrooms alone. Leave the goddamn mushrooms out of your gender nonsense. Because I don't know how many sexes mushrooms have, but y'all's no, but there are only two genders is even more ridiculous when it comes to mushrooms. I don't know how many there are, but there are several thousand, and I just leave the poor mushrooms alone. Leave them out of your silly nonsense. What did they do to you to deserve this kind of bullshit? No, leave the mushrooms out of it. I slapped my wife and she had the guts to arrest me with police because of one correctional slap. I was so surprised when the police stormed my office to arrest me. We have lost wife material. It's funny how this woke generation can't endure like our mothers. She had me arrested and had the nerves to remain in my house. It's the audacity for me. My father slapped my mom and she never had him arrested. Instead, she apologized like the good wife she is, then cooked and washed his clothes. But now it's pathetic that we can't correct them. The fact that you said all of this with your whole chest and didn't see anything wrong with it makes me very concerned for you, and makes me kind of concerned what else your wife had to put up before you had her arrested, because if this is your mindset of, okay, we lost good wife material because we can't make them or force them to behave exactly the way we want them to, and if they misbehave because they're their own person, they're gonna do what they think is right and not what you think is right, you can't force them with violence anymore, and that's bad somehow. I know a lot of cis people or a lot of straight people aren't like this, but this whole assumption of, okay, no, but we've lost wife material because women aren't submissive anymore and won't do whatever we say, because guess what, by now women have the choice to be independent and don't have to depend on a man for money, so obviously they're not gonna put up with your bullshit. You know, I'm glad she had you arrested, and I hope she's doing a lot better now, you know? Which of these big secret reveals would be the last likely to be a deal breaker for you? You're dating someone for a couple of months. They're very attractive and friendly to you, and charming. You think it's a really good match. I'm talking like soulmate here, really good chemistry. They do have one secret, and it eventually comes out to you. Which one of these are you most likely to continue dating after they've revealed it to you? Which is the easiest for you to get over? 32%, they're secretly transgender. 17%, they're extremely racist and in the closet about it. 18%, they have 6 figures in student loan debts. 7%, they have a serious drug addiction. 14%, they have a child with someone else already. 7, they have an STD that they did not tell you about. Wouldn't it be... I mean, the bar is on the ground, but wouldn't it be good that 32% at least said, yeah, this is not actually a deal breaker? I mean, the fact that you listed this as a deal breaker kind of has me worried a bit, but the fact that 32% said, like, okay, you know what, yeah, no, it's fine. They're trans. Okay, cool. That's okay. I love them. Like, I get along really well with them, so I'm gonna keep dating them. I'm hopeful for the 32%, not very hopeful for the person who created this poll, I guess. Because I guess we all have different deal breakers, but yeah, transphobia is one of them for me as a trans person, I guess. Yeah, but why would you... Why? Just why? You know, because guess what? Trans people aren't gonna try to hide it that long, because they know how someone might react when they eventually find out that trans. So before you get yourself in a dangerous situation where you're already really close with this other person and you then have to risk telling them, especially trans women dating cis men, or any trans person dating cis men, I guess, because cis men have been kind of popular when it comes to committing hate crimes on these people. So yeah, guess what? Most trans people will tell prospective partners soon enough and in a probably fairly public setting, so they won't get hate crimed or beaten to death. Yeah, what is this hypothetical even? But yeah, I feel like we're reading too much into it. We're moving on. Incels are extremely miserable, ugly, creepy, transphobic, and misogynistic assholes. Fuck incels and fuck misogyny. Seriously. You are a very angry person. Who hurt you? People venting in these subs isn't new, to be honest. That's why it's hard to take some stuff serious when it's written by people who obviously have unresolved trauma. I doubt this person's issue have anything to do with incels, more likely society in general, since they identify as non-binary. A lot of people hate you, a lot of people don't think you deserve rights. Why are you angry? It's just that so many people think you're a piece of shit and that you're not even really human. Why are you angry? Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why queer people are angry and feel the need to vent. Or I wonder why women are angry and need to vent. Because yeah, a lot of society, not just incels, hate trans people or queer people in general. Kinda wish it was just incels, you know? But just because a lot of people are rubbish towards queer people doesn't mean you can't also be mad at incels, because a lot of incels will probably be pretty transphobic too. Because if you post something like, okay, fuck these incels with their misogynistic and transphobic views, it doesn't mean they only have issues with this one group of people and not just like transphobes in general. And yeah, the whole, no, but it's okay if we hate you, but you have to be calm about it. Bro, no. And queer people have every right to be angry. We have every right to be angry and to vent. So shut the fuck up. That little shit, bro. I'm gender fluid, so I fall under the gender umbrella. Honestly, let me rephrase it for you better. I'm uninteresting and need to be unique, so instead of being male or female like I was born, I like to make my gender dysphoria everyone else's problem beside mine. Is that better? How do I make it everyone else's problem? You can call me by whatever pronouns you want and not misgender me. There's zero problems there, I think. It's impossible to misgender me, so you can't say I'm forcing my pronouns on you, or whatever the fuck y'all like to say all the time. You're not trans, you're just groomed. Yeah, I wasn't taught about trans stuff until I was like a tween, at which point I already knew I didn't feel like a girl or a guy. How was I groomed? Yeah, I guess our point is how the hell is it grooming? To be like, hey, being non-binary is a thing that exists. Being trans is something that exists. Like, people are trans. And educating other people or being like, hey, this is how I figured out I was trans. How is that grooming? That's just being like, hey, this has been my experience. I've heard similar things from other trans people, maybe, you know? So if you feel like this, maybe think about it. But most trans people aren't going to be out here and be like, okay, no, but if you dislike your chest as a teenage girl, you must be trans. Because guess what? A lot of kids in puberty or teens in puberty aren't going to feel comfortable with their body. No one's gonna be here and be like, well, if you feel any kind of uncomfortable at your body, you must be trans. No one's gonna say that. Because that's unhinged. So how is it grooming? I love that is their go-to now, apparently. It's been quite a while since I started using it, but yeah, showing other people that different ways to exist like are real and that there isn't just one way to exist is grooming it's ridiculous. And the whole, okay, but I'm just uninteresting, so I wanted to pick something to feel special. I don't have long hair. I really miss it in moments like these because I can't be like, you know, but the whole I don't have a personality, so I have to be queer is ridiculous. Because honestly, I don't have any issues if queer people's personality is just the fact that they're queer, you know? Because guess what? Straight people like to do that too. It's like, no, I like football and only football, and that's the only thing that I'll ever talk about, or whatever. Like, honestly, you can't. Why do you care so much? Really, is my question. Find the trans person. Can't find them because they live among us as normal people. That creature right there with the red on its face. I see one though. Blue dress. I love the fact that they took this wholesome meme with like the stick figures, and you just like have 100 stick figures that all look the same, and then it's like, find the queer person or whatever. Listen, you took something that was supposed to be wholesome and you have ruined it so badly. And I hate you for it. That's just, you are literally just trying to be rude. On my dating profile, it's clearly stated that I refuse to date woke, hardcore feminists or anyone who uses she/her pronouns. I'm looking for a feminine and traditional woman, not some woke nightmare who will refer to me as her partner. Using pronouns is woke. No, but apparently recognizing that everyone uses pronouns is woke ideology or something. But if you want someone feminine and traditional, you're aware that feminine and traditional women, or that most women, will use she/her pronouns. Or have she/her pronouns used for them, because you don't really talk about yourself with pronouns a lot. You just use them when you're talking about other people, really. But either way, yeah, most women use she/her pronouns. So unless you want to date someone who isn't a woman, I think you're gonna have to actually date someone who uses she/her pronouns, whether you or she will admit it or not, because you won't admit that you use he/him pronouns either, apparently. But you do. Those are your preferred pronouns. Because these are the kind of people that if you don't use he/him, if you say, oh, yeah, that man over there, if you just say, oh, yeah, that person over there, like, I think they just dropped their wallet, I'm gonna return it. If they hear you say that about them, they're gonna be mad, because they're like, no, but I'm clearly a man. Bro, why are you suppressed? We're just calling you a person. How is that offensive? Whatever. I don't think it's working out for him. I want a tall trans woman. I think y'all are gods. 33 male here. It's been forever since I've been on Whisper, and I don't miss it. Sometimes I do, because it's just so stupid and so dramatic. But you meet the weirdest people. Kind of sad that fetishism isn't limited to people on Whisper, you know, because you will find these kind of people like on other social media as well, or in real life. But honestly, saying, hey, I don't really care if someone's trans, like, I'm totally okay with dating trans people, and being like, okay, no, but I want a trans girlfriend. That's so hot. I want a woman who's transgender. There's a line there somewhere, and you're way past it. Into creepy territory. You're trans, right? Can I ask a personal question? I guess. Proceeds to say the most intrusive thought, batshit weird question ever. Okay, if you're going to play the role, expect to read from the script. Don't get mad when other people are curious. You're not special, you're not more important than anyone else. Stop acting like it. If you're going to go against the grain of what most people consider normal, fine, no problem. Expect to deal with that accordingly. Y'all expect everyone to tiptoe around you. Stop it. You heard it here first, guys. Wanting boundaries is now acting like you're more important than everyone else. Okay, if you're curious because you haven't been around other trans people, that doesn't mean it's okay to ask these random people who you've just met intrusive questions about their sex lives or their genitals or anything. Just Google like a normal person. Because I get being curious. I get it. But that doesn't mean you ask random people intrusive questions about their lives. You know, because that is just human decency, which y'all don't seem to have. Because as soon as someone's queer or trans, you're gonna ask weird questions about it. And yeah, not wanting weird questions like that is a boundary, and it's not acting childish or thinking you're better than everyone, because no one deserves to be asked questions like that. I know some people don't really mind, but generally most people who you've just met will not be a fan of you immediately asking, okay, but what do your genitals look like? Like, what's in your pants? How do you have sex? Tell me in great detail. Most people will not be okay with that, you know? Yeah. Okay, this is very interesting. I fucking hate trans people. Experiment. I fucking hate cis people. Experimented. Visibility limited. This post may violate X's rules against hateful conduct. I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. This is the man that will dead name his own daughter but be super offended if anyone still calls it Twitter and not X. So I'm not not really surprised that cis is apparently a hateful slur, but trans isn't. I mean, trans isn't a slur. It's just an adjective to describe the way someone is. Just the way cis is. But yeah, no, cis is a slur now, apparently. A female pool player received a round of applause when she forfeited a pool tournament rather than compete against a trans woman in the finals. Okay, especially in pool, it does seem ridiculous. Like, if this was like a marathon or like a running competition or whatever, I can maybe see why you would get it into your head that, okay, no, but I'm sure she has an advantage or something, so I'm just not going to compete because I think it's unfair because I am a woman and she isn't. But pool? Okay, no, I know y'all are just transphobic. I know you weren't really actually worried you were gonna lose just because she's trans. I know you're just being transphobic, but still, pool? Alright, well, these cis people who applauded and this woman herself who forfeited, not okay. Not doing okay. I identify as a red bin, please empty me. Listen, I can almost understand being like, shit, my red bin broke and I don't have a new one yet, but I need to get rid of this kind of trash, so I'm gonna put a sign on and be like, hey, sorry, this is red trash, please empty it. But listen, if I was a garbage man, if you just put up a sign saying, hey, I promise this like contains the type of trash that should be in the red trash, my red trash can broke or whatever, maybe it's shorter, I'd collect it. But if I see this sign, I'm just gonna leave it there, because it's not red trash. You're trash, red or not. Reddit was so unhinged over this game. It was an awesome game. They didn't ask you to buy MTX, and it was relatively polished, especially compared to other games that came out this year. Supporting a transphobe is such a lazy argument. They all have iPhones too. Okay, I think iPhones are a bit more necessary in daily life than a Hogwarts game. Yeah, because having any kind of values for yourself of being like, okay, I'm not gonna support a transphobe, so I'm gonna boycott this game, is weird now, apparently. Like, sure, it may have been a great game. Who knows? But who cares? Who cares? Go find another great game. There are so many games out there, I'm sure you can find another one. I'm very sorry, it wasn't a personal attack on you. You seem very sweet, and I didn't mean to insinuate that you are lying about your feelings. But there is an argument to be had that the way you present this kind of surgery and the way private healthcare facilities use it irresponsible and potentially dangerous to young people who watch your videos. I see comments like, I'm 13 and I hate my chest, I can't wait to turn 18 and get the surgery. It's normal to hate your body as a teenage girl. Or, I'm a trans bi furry and I want to look like XYZ male celebrity. That's not what the surgery is for. Or, I'm so depressed my parents won't let me get top surgery. They're making themselves sick over something they don't need. Presenting this kind of surgery as a cutesy childish vlog makes it seem cosmetic, like cutting your hair. It's not okay. They're experiencing and documenting their authentic, unfiltered euphoria experience, and you're mad? Would you rather they be dull and monotonous? No, I'd rather they were responsible. They're an activist with a young audience, and they have a responsibility to present this topic properly. Okay, or you can just not try to dictate how other people do that content or what other people post online, unless it's actually hateful or actually harmful. Because again, I'm just guessing this person was like, hey, this was my experience with top surgery. For me, such a life changer. Like, I'm glad it went well and whatever, I feel so much better. Great, cool. That's nice. We love to see it. We love trans people happy. You know, well, I do. These people apparently don't. But either way, saying, okay, no, but you're not doing a good job at informing young people. Listen, of course, trans teenagers are gonna vlog, are gonna just flock towards trans people posting their content online, because it's like, hey, this is relatable to me, or this is nice to see for me, because there's a chance for me to get up, to grow up and get top surgery at some point. There's hope. There's someone that feels familiar who went through the same things I did. Of course, young trans people or teenagers are gonna watch this type of content. That doesn't mean they weren't trans before they found this content. Maybe they didn't fully understand what was going on with them, and they were like, hey, wait, the way you... Oh, that is exactly how I feel. Oh, shit. No one's gonna see one video of a trans person's top surgery and be like, okay, sure, good idea, let's go, I'm gonna go get my tits chopped off. No one's gonna do that. And no hospital or doctor is actually gonna be like, yeah, no, you thought about this yesterday, okay, cool, let's get your tits chopped off, let's book your surgery tomorrow. That's really not how any of this works. So someone showing their gender euphoria about something, or being happy about a milestone that they worked really hard for, isn't something I think you should be coming for, but okay. Trans people. Hormones have made me finally feel good about it and at home in my body for the first time ever in my life. Cis people, but aren't you worried that might be irreversible? I sure hope so. And also, again, why are you so worried? Because these people are so... It's literally stupid, because why would you go around and assume that someone who says they're trans or is starting hormones has literally only like woke up one day and were like, hey, I'm gonna go get hormones today and change my gender. That's really not how trans people work. That's not how anyone of us do these things. That's how the medical systems don't even work. Like, even if you would wake up one day and be like, hey, listen, I do think I want hormones. You're not gonna get them that quickly. You know, there's psychologists involved. There's so much work with like your health insurance and shit involved to get them to cover it or something. Trust me, it's not an easy process. And then being like, no, but you know that's irreversible, right? As if these people don't know way more about the hormones they're taking than you as a random cis person who's never worried about their gender or actually had a consultation about taking like HRT. You really think that these doctors don't inform you, and you don't think that these trans people have thought about... Well, apparently you think they haven't thought about anything. They just woke up and went to the doctor and got hormones without the doctor saying anything about it, just doctor just being like, yeah, here, have it. Y'all, that's so weird. That's literally just weird. Trans people are defying God's will. Trans people are rejecting biology. Trans people are upending the natural order. Transgenders are ruining the economy. Keep going. You're making us sound so sexy. But literally, they just make us sound way more cool and powerful. And I'm honestly here for it. Though I think it's ridiculous, of course, but at the same time, like, I want them to stop because it's stupid and we're just trying to live our life, of course, but at the same time, you're making us sound pretty powerful and sexy, so keep going, but please stop. You know? Like, of course I don't want you to hate trans people, because, again, trans people are just out here trying to live their lives the way it fits them. And I don't think you really have the right to intervene with that, but you think you have the right to intervene on that, so actually just stop. We'll find something else to be entertained with, you know, it's fine. It's fine, just stop. Anyways, that's about all the cis people I can take for today. I have had it. I have to go back to work tomorrow, so I will get enough cis people there too, so I've literally had it. But yeah, that was all the memes. But on a side note, I'm so grateful because I finally made it to 1,000 subscribers. It feels unreal. I know I don't really show emotions like most people expect me to, because most people think I always look pretty calm or just like uninterested even when I'm excited or something, but I'm generally so excited. And I still don't know how this happened, because last time I checked it was like at 500 or 600, and that was a few months ago, and I didn't really expect to hit 1,000 at all, really. But thank you so much for being here. Feel free to stay and check out some other videos if you haven't seen them, if you're new here. But either way, thank you. Stay hydrated, and I'll be back in a few days with my next video.